You're watching WCSD Cable Television from Calloway County High School.
According to DoSomething.org, over 70 million stray dogs and cats die every year. These animals have either been neglected by cruel owners or have lived on the streets their entire lives. Luckily, numerous shelters across America have taken in these animals and found them loving and stable homes. One of these shelters is the Calloway County Animal Shelter. And one of the programs that works very closely with the shelter is the Calloway County Humane Society. Hi, I'm Jameson Moorhead, and welcome to Calloway Connections. Today, I have with me the Executive Director of the Humane Society, Ms. Kathy Hodge. Ms. Hodge, thank you for joining us today.
Glad to be here.
So to begin, could you give our audience a brief summary of what the Humane Society actually does for the community?
Okay. Well, we have really two major animal organizations in our community and other rescue groups too, but two major organizations that help the animals that are either homeless from neglect or problems in their families. Lots of times people have to move unexpectedly or something like that and have to have to give up their pets. And then some animals, as you mentioned earlier, just strays that never really had a home. So we were originally founded in 1975 with the idea of having a shelter that would accommodate all of these homeless animals and then try to find homes for them. Over the years, we no longer run the animal shelter, but it is run by the Calloway County Fiscal Court or county government. And the Humane Society is a membership-based grassroots organization that is funded really totally by donations and by fees for the services that we offer. So there's not a big, we're not connected to any national organizations or anything like that. So what we did was try to step in and see what needs there were in the community other than the shelter, providing the brick and mortar building of the shelter itself, and because that part was done. So we have a Friends of the Shelter program where we go down and take pictures of all the animals in the shelter, post them on Pet Finder, and make sure that they're getting the word out that they're there for adoption to the whole world. We also provide veterinary care for the animals at the shelter. One of our major programs is spaying and neuter assistance, a program we call Fixed for Life. If we don't address those animals that are out there not being spayed and neutered and having tons of litters of puppies and kittens, then the animal shelter is going to be there forever with more and more animals coming in. And we would really like to put the shelter out of business. That's what we're all there for, is to put them out of business. So our spay-neuter program is a huge part of what we do. We have an adoption program ourselves, and we pull animals from the shelter, we take animals from the community and put them in foster homes so that they have an opportunity to be in a normal kind of housing situation and find out what they would be like as a pet for someone. We also have a pet therapy program where we go to the nursing homes and schools, and we go to the university, retirement centers, any place where people cannot usually take their pets or cannot take their pets at all and really miss those. They need that kind of interaction. So we have 5 or 6 other programs, obedience classes, and a number of other things, but those are our major reasons for being.
So next, what animals do you provide services for at the Humane Society?
It's such a variety. I mean, we provide services of some sort that would be useful to every pet in the community because we have the spay-neuter assistance program for those people who haven't fixed their animals yet. We have our microchipping ID program. Every pet should be microchipped. The last thing you want to do is have your pet get away from you for some reason, in a storm, or somebody leaves the door open accidentally, or whatever might happen, and have it get away from you and be picked up with someone and they have no idea who it belongs to. So we encourage people to get pet ID tags on their animals, but tags can fall off, so their permanent kind of identification is that microchip. So we've microchipped several thousand animals in our community, and now every single animal that comes into an animal shelter to here at the Humane Society or at vets' offices are scanned first thing to see if they belong to someone. And consequently, they don't have to stay at the shelter, they don't have to go to a foster home, they can get right back home. So that's a huge part of what we do, and as I said, that's available to every animal in the whole community, cats, dogs. We've microchipped pigs and all sorts of different kinds of animals. So So I don't guess there's really any animal in the community that we don't have some way to help them, whether they're ones that are actually in need of a home or vet care, but also just your everyday pets that most of us have.
Right. Next, so as executive director, what does that position actually entail?
Well, for us, I'm the only person that gets any kind of payment at all for working at the Humane Society, and it's a part-time position. So all of these programs that I'm mentioning, and all of these foster homes and pet therapy, and all of these things that I've mentioned, are run by volunteers. So you can imagine it's a really large group of volunteers and very dedicated volunteers to pull all of that off for the animals. So I feel more like I'm I truly am a director. I just say, okay, we have a need over here, or somebody's let me know of a problem or a program we could do or something like that. But the volunteers are the ones that actually do the day-to-day work of making all those programs happen.
And touching off of that question, what is your daily schedule like as executive director?
Totally erratic.
I can imagine.
Yeah, we officially have hours at our office at the Week Center from 10 to 3, Monday through Thursday, so people can always find someone there to talk to them, answer questions, do whatever needs to be done in the way of communication between 10 and 3, Monday through Thursday. But there's no, the animals or the people that are worried about the animals don't only worry and care about them and have needs between 10 and 3, Monday through Thursday.
Right.
So consequently, there's, I get calls at really late at night, really early in the morning, emails whenever, texts whenever. So it is part of what I enjoy about the work, because we can be responsive to a lot of those needs that are out there and help people in the community and help them help their animals if that's what they're wanting to do. So there's really not much of a real schedule and not much of a routine, but that makes it that much more exciting, and like I said, feel like we're being that much more responsive to the needs of the animals in our community by not being too rigid about our schedules and our times that we're available.
So this past Saturday, I know the Humane Society held the 7th annual Easter bone hunt.
Yeah.
Could you tell us a little bit about that and what happened?
That's one of my favorite events, I think. It's when you think about an Easter bone hunt and think it's for your dogs instead of your kids, you just can't help but sort of laugh and think, how silly is this? But we have the best time, and I think that's because it's just a fun thing to do. Every dog can do it. We have large dogs, small dogs. It's organized just like an Easter egg hunt would be for kids, except the plastic eggs have dog treats in them, or little pieces of paper saying that they're gifts to go get on a prize table. So we have a small hunt and a large dog hunt, because we really don't want necessarily the Yorkies being stomped on by the Great Danes, and we had a lot of each, so we try to make it really comfortable and fun. We also have the Easter Bunny there for the photos with the Easter Bunny, and we also offer microchipping, which we try to do at everything we do. It's just too important. And Little Shop of Collars was there to engrave ID tags. So it was a really fun day. It was a little windy, so we had a little challenges that way, but the weather was actually just beautiful, and people really enjoyed getting out. We had Easter bonnet parade, and our definition of bonnet is extremely broad. So we had everything from really cute bonnets to cute bow ties and whole outfits and all sorts of stuff. So it's just a fun afternoon to get out, especially in the spring when lots of people we've had a lot of pretty weather this year, so it hadn't mattered so much. But sometimes when we have that Easter bone hunt, it's the first time people have really been out to do something, outdoor fun with their dogs as the spring comes on. So we had about 100 dogs there. So we had people who just came and sat and watched, because it's so much fun to see such a huge variety. And of course, the thing that's really special for us is we have a lot of our dogs that we've adopted adopted out from the Humane Society come back to the Easter bone hunt, and that's always special anytime we can see them and see how they're growing.
And could you tell us any more about the upcoming events that are coming up in the next few months?
Our very next event is coming up in May, and on May the 20th, we're going to have our yard sale. We have an annual yard sale, and people donate items, as they're cleaning out their closets and garages and things all year long. So we've collected items. We already have a nice big stash of items for the yard sale, but we're absolutely looking for more. So if anyone has items they'd like to share with us and get out of their way, we have a place to store most things right now. So they can contact us via our Facebook page, email, any of our means of communication that we have on our website. Reach out to us, and we're glad to have donations. Then we have our sale on Saturday, the 20th of May. We start at 9 o'clock. It's over at 2, and we have it at the Week Center. We use the senior citizens part of the building that's the other half of the building. And so we have a large space with their gymnasium and their cafeteria to spread out all the things and have a really good shopping experience. So even if you don't have anything to donate to the sale, we hope you'll come, and people will consider coming to the sale itself. And it's not just pet items. I want to make that clear. It's your traditional yard sale with everything under the sun in it. So, and we've got already see a huge variety of things, and I think people won't want to miss that if they're going to be in town on May the 20th.
All right. So we're going to cut to a quick break, and when we come back, we'll ask a couple more questions. I'm Jameson Moorhead for Calloway Connections.
Start a story. Adopt at theshelterpetproject.org.
Welcome back to Calloway Connections. I'm Jameson Moorhead, and I'm back with our guest, Ms. Kathy Hodge. So, Ms. Hodge, you brought in some pictures of the animals that are available for adoption at the shelter and the society.
Right.
Would you like to tell us about some of them?
Yeah, generally I think it's good for people to understand that we have a huge number of animals that come through, even though it's way less at the shelter than it used to be just a few years ago, and the Humane Society's probably handled 500 animals over the course of a year. But if you're looking for a puppy or a kitten or a dog or a cat, you can find pretty much anything you want. About 25% of the animals that we get at the shelter and the Humane Society both are purebred animals, so you don't have to go to a breeder to get a purebred animal always. We have many more at shelters than you would in Humane Societies than you think we would. Lots of kittens and puppies this time of year, so we do want to encourage people to contact us about our spay-neuter program. We know we can pay for half the cost to spay or neuter your animal, so you won't be part of the process of bringing more puppies and kittens into the world. But as people can see with the photos that are going through, there's a lot of beautiful puppies and cats. We have wonderful adult dogs. You just need to think about what kind of animal you need in your family. Do you have kids and lots of energy and want to run, and puppies are great? Or are you more sedentary and want something that's just going to hang with you? Then an adult dog may be better. Same thing with puppies and kittens. So just think about, really consider what kind of animal you need for your lifestyle.
Something for everybody.
Yeah, and as you see the pictures, there's truly something for everybody, large, small, and young and old, and everything in between.
And one last question before we wrap up. What are some of the goals you have for the Society in 2017?
I think for the next year, we're looking at just continuing on the path. We want to get more dogs and puppies out to rescues. We want to adopt more, both from the shelter and the Humane Society, and promote the spay and neuter program continually in every opportunity that we have, and microchip everything that we can come in contact with, that we can get microchip, because we just want all those animals to get home so they don't end up with us or in the animal shelter.
Well, thank you again for joining us. Hope that more animals are adopted this coming up year.
That would be great.
Once again, I'm Jameson Moorhead for Calloway Connections, signing off.